What is up, guys? Ninja Nick back with the final round of this league challenge at Plunder Gaming in Amsterdam, New York. We've got Hunter again on the left versus PJ again on the right. So another lost box mirror. So Hunter should be favored because he's against the Giratina version. Giratina is less consistent. Turbo can just hit Sableye turn 2 most of the time. So it'll be... the only thing is that Hawlucha is a little bit weird, so I suppose if PJ is able to play this like a regular Lost Box list, he might be able to pull it out. But he already has one Giratina V in play, so I'm not quite sure if he'll be able to do that or not. So just going for those Jet Energy plays. Jet Energies his Comfey into the active spot, moving that Giratina out of the way. And then, of course, retreating the Comfey as well to get a second flower selecting is going to put that Jet Energy into play. So I'm at the table next to this. I'm playing my buddy Alex, who's on Miraidon. And I just absolutely... it wasn't even close. Like, I turned to... What was it? I turned to Sableye, knocked out both of his Mareep. I think it was. I think that's what I did. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. It was very one-sided. So as I said already, I ended up getting second at this league challenge, earning a whole 2 championship points. Replacing a top 4 finish with a second put me at 168 CP for the season. Pretty lackluster. This did, at the time, tie me for top 16 in North America. I was, tied for 16th. But then, I checked to the next morning, and then all of a sudden, there was a dozen people past me again somehow. So I guess there was just a bunch of cups over the weekend that hadn't been uploaded yet. So it's been a struggle to stay there, especially since I have not been going to many League Cups. I refuse to drive more than an hour and 15 for a tournament, which is basically what this was. This was just over an hour to get to. Because I used to travel all over the place. I spent a weekend in Rhode Island one time doing a double header. And it's just not worth it. It really isn't. Just get better. If I don't get my invite by playing... Or, sorry. I shouldn't say my invite, because that implies that I deserve it. If I don't get an invite this season, then I didn't earn it. And I'm trying to only go to locals that are within an hour to an hour and a half from me. So, cups and challenges only within an hour to an hour and a half of me. And maybe at some point I'll decide to go to one 2 hours from me. But those should be few and far between. Which also means that I have no events this weekend, so I'm just going to be streaming. That would have already happened at this point. But make sure you guys always check to make sure you are following the Twitch channel if you guys are not already, because I do some PTCG live stuff on there. Trying to get back into the swing of things now that I have moved and I'm all settled in. So Hunter gets to 4 cards in the Lost Zone and does have an attach and retreat here. So he is going to be able to attack with the Cramorant. He's going to be able to get ahead on the prize race here. So yeah, I always personally feel like you should always be the one going second in a Lost Box mirror. Even gets the Lost Vacuum as well, getting rid of his own Artisan to make sure that the opponent is not able to get another bench Pokemon for free. So that's a really good play there. Pretty stellar turn 1, in all honesty. The only bad thing is that there is no bench space available right now for the Sableye. So if your opponent were to somehow get to Sableye this turn, say this was a Turbo Lost Box mirror, if they got to Sableye this turn, because it's their turn 2, it's highly doable. They could just spread wide and never take a knockout. never giving you the opportunity to put your own Sableye in play, or just bench anything else. And then they can just keep looping their Sableyes forever with like Clara and stuff. But this is the Giratina version, so it should only really realistically be able to attack with Sableye like once during the whole game. You know, we do see a Nest Ball is going to get the Cramorant of his own out, it looks like. So that is going to go directly to the bench with the Nest Ball. Like, me and a bunch of my friends, like, called it. We're all like, what are they going to replace Quick Ball with when it rotates? And we all just kind of agreed that Nest Ball really made sense to be reprinted. And, of course, that's exactly what happened. So it was nice, because I already had a few Nest Balls. But I had a lot of promo Nest Balls, and I've been getting away from playing holo cards if I can avoid it. So I'm really excited to try to find myself a non-holo play pack promo Forest Sealstone. I can't wait to find those. I've opened a few packs of that already, and I have not gotten there yet. But the holo stuff in there looks really sick. And it's taking a lot of restraint for me to not play the holo stuff, because the holo stuff warps, it's thicker, it's more likely to clump than if you just play regular non-holo stuff. So I don't want to like go to a tournament and have all my cards look warped, because I used to play like the Call of Legends promo energies, and they were super warped all the time, and I had to do a lot of effort to unwarp them before like every regional and everything. It was just not worth the effort. I just play exclusively silver border energies now. Got more than my money back that I invested into those things, I'll tell you. Those things are worth a pretty penny. So it looks like maybe Hunter doesn't have a way to... He's just sitting here not doing... Oh, he has an energy. But, yeah, he doesn't have... Oh, he's going to Super Rod his Cram back in and maybe re-find it, retreat into the Cram again. Even an attack with a Greninja would be pretty good here. You could hit the Comfey and then put the other 90 onto the Giratina V-Star. Would be really great. We are at 7 in the Lost Zone, so if we have Mirage Gates, we can attack with those. And I think they're agreeing that the Radiant Greninja has already been used. So he just taps that. But he is going to use the Nest Ball probably to find that Cramorant and then just retreat the active Comfey into it and take another knockout. So that's a very good use of a Super Rod there, being able to recycle that one Cramorant. It's probably the only Cramorant you are playing. Most of these Lost Box decks only play one. You usually don't need more than one, and if you really do, you should have that Super Rod available to you because you play 3. Unless you're the Kyogre version, then you probably play 2 and 2 Energy Recycler. I mean, I guess you could play 3 Rod and 1 Energy Recycler, but that's a little bit risky in my opinion. We do see the Colress's Experiment coming out as well now. I'm a little surprised that didn't come out before the Nest Ball, just to see if you could draw into the Cram without having to Nest Ball for it. Now we do have the ability to Mirage Gate here. So if we had one more switch card in hand, we could attack with Radiant Greninja right now. Do we have another switch card in hand? So I would hate to see this Greninja get powered up only to get like boss knocked out on the next turn. Although it would require a Lost Impact, so maybe buttering this thing up for a Lost Impact wouldn't be too bad either. And yeah, we do have an Escape Rope, so play the Escape Rope, attach the Water Energy for turn. We're going to put the Choice Belt on the Cramorant. Is an interesting decision, but that does allow Cramorant to two-shot the Giratina, and chooses not to go for the Greninja attack. Yeah, I think if you attack with Greninja there, the Sableye can't, or sorry, the Cramorant can't respond with a knockout. So you could have, yeah, escape roped into the Greninja, attached for turn to it, used Moonlight Shuriken, knocked out the one Comfey, and put 90 on the Giratina V-Star. And it feels like you've kind of wasted that Choice Belt at this point by putting it down now onto the Cramorant and not getting any value off of it. Because it would have been fine to have the Choice Belt on the Cramorant if you left it on the bench. But it looks like just a pass. So not getting punished for that. That is going to be a huge lead here. Yeah, we're going to have a 2 prize card lead now. Still no bench space for a Sableye is a little unfortunate. Because you would love to be able to Sableye here. You could just spread damage to both Giratinas. Like 3 to each Giratina, and then spread to the rest to the 2 Comfeys. Or you could just knock out one Comfey, put 3 on the Giratina V-Star, and the rest on the other Giratina. But it looks like we're going to use the Mirage Gate now. Not sure what that gets us. I guess just an energy to a Comfey so we can retreat it on a future turn. Yeah, I think I would have just held that Mirage Gate. I think holding it would have been a lot better. Although you are going into Roxanne turns. But there's like a lot of dead cards in your hand that you kind of would rather get Roxanne into your deck. So we're going to pivot between the 2 Comfey here. We're going to switch into our own Comfey with the energy on it. Flower Select. Get another Mirage Gate, getting rid of the... Yeah, so now we could have 2 Mirage... We would have still had 2 Mirage Gates if we hadn't used the 1. And yeah, just retreating it. So using a Mirage Gate just to get 1 card in the Lost Zone... it doesn't seem like the best use of it. And just another Spit with the Cramorant, which could have just been done if you left it in the active. So still not bad. Still really good to just get that prize with the Cramorant, but a little bit of a roundabout way to do it, it feels. So we're going to see the attached to the Giratina V-Star, and then the Switch Cart. And a Roxanne. So is he going to Star Requiem? I think he's about to Star Requiem this Cramorant. He's still 2 cards in the Lost Zone away from it, though. So maybe he's looking for a Mirage Gate so he can Lost Impact the Cramorant? Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, if you're this Giratina player, I don't know what you do in this position. Besides just hope your opponent misplays. And that the Roxanne sticks. Looks like the Roxanne's gonna stick. So yeah, so we've Mirage Gated twice without getting any benefit from it because the Radiant Greninja still has not attacked. If you just like draw into Water Energy here, you could attach to Greninja and then still knock out the Comfey and put the rest on the Giratina and still be in a pretty good spot. Looks like we're just going to switch into the Snorlax, and is this a pass? Oh my, I think this is a pass. Oh no, I think he's going to Mirage Gate to it. He would have to Mirage Gate twice. He's already attached for turn. He put that energy on the Giratina V-Star this turn. So here comes a Super Rod. Yeah, this is like kind of telegraphing a Mirage Gate play. No, just a pass? What? And we see a boss's orders off the top. We could actually boss up the Giratina V-Star and hit it for 140. This is huge, actually. Water Clara Switch is the remaining 3 prize cards. So yeah, just fail that. Hold the Lost Vacuum in hand, because there's nothing else you can do with it. Boss up the Giratina V-Star and hit it. No! Boss up the Giratina V-Star, you two-shot that thing. You force them into a Lost Impact if they want to get rid of your Cramorant. Oh, no. So here comes the Mirage Gate. Well, you're still 3 prize cards ahead at this point, so... it's still really your game to win. You just really have to draw something. And yeah, I guess just taking that prize card does get you somewhere. Maybe you're hoping you get the Clara off the prize cards, so that maybe you can get that Greninja attack on the next turn. So I guess I could see that coming in. But looks like we Mirage Gate to the Snorlax, and then attach Jet Energy for turn, forces it into the active spot, and a double heads. I do remember seeing that sitting next to that. Channeling the Michael Premawant energy to flip the double heads for Snorlax so it stays awake. And now you're in a little bit of a pickle. You are still 2 prize cards ahead, but you have a Water Energy in hand. You took that off the prize cards. So now you can promote your Radiant Greninja and attack with it. You can put 90 onto each of the 2 prizers on the bench, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know what hitting the active will do for you. Yeah, I think you do the damage to both Giratinas. So that then if the second Giratina ends up coming up at some point, you could still respond to that. And there is a Tails this time, so the Snorlax will fall asleep. Yeah, I was gonna say. I didn't see him turn it sideways there. So we're gonna Flower Select here. An Ultra Ball is not super useful. That doesn't really get you... I guess that gets you Sableye, but you don't have a Psychic Energy. Yeah, and now we're at the impasse where we can't respond to just a Snorlax because we wasted all our resources early. So attach, retreat, second Flower Selecting. I think that's correct. Get rid of the Lost Vacuum. Keep the Dragonite. Just leave that in hand and pass. I suppose you could even just bench the other Comfey just in case you get Rock Sand again. That doesn't go back into the deck. And it looks like double Tails, so that Snorlax is going to stay asleep. So you can just spend your time not doing much of anything here at this point. But that second Giratina is now getting powered up, evolving into the Giratina V-Star. And just another pass, another Tails, so that Snorlax does stay asleep. It does have to flip 2 coins for every sleep flip, so we are going to draw for turn. It is a Palpad, so now you Palpad 2 Choruses back into the deck. Then you use Flower Selecting to hopefully find that, and if you find maybe an Energy instead or a switching card, you can just go into the next Comfey, use the Flower Selecting again to try to find that Chorus. So again, this is Hunter's game to win, just needs to take 2 prize cards. He is down his boss's orders already, so it almost would have been correct to put Chorus and Boss back into the deck, so that you could like have the option of like attacking with Dragonite later. But I think at this point you're just forced to go through the Snorlax, so I guess putting the 90 on it in hindsight was correct. There is a Forest Seal. Getting rid of a Sableye, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because if you can get a yeah, I don't like that. Because if you can just get a Sableye online, you can just keep sniping the Giratina on the bench while the Snorlax stays asleep. So it looks like we're going to go for the Dragonite and the Forest Seal Stone. So now you just lose to Boss's orders, retreat. Yeah, so if he flips double heads and wakes up, or if he just has a switching card and a Boss, you now lose. So definitely, unless you were able to piece together exactly the Sableye attack this turn, or the attack with the Dragonite onto the bench Giratina, I don't think that there is a reason to put that down. I don't think any one card out of your deck is going to put you in the position that you want to be in here. Unless you just draw really hot off this Colress, I suppose. So you can safely get rid of one INO, I think, and maybe the Luminian. Yeah, I think that's correct. And had you kept the Sableye before, you might have been able to attack with Sableye this turn. Yeah, so now you're just hoping your opponent doesn't have a switching card. And a ball. He flips double heads. Can now just attach an energy, retreat, and boss. Because the Snorlax has a 4 retreat cost, I believe. So you would need to attach to the Snorlax to retreat. Or he could just have a switch card. So as long as he has boss, he has it. So attach for turn, retreat. Here comes the Giratina. We're going to boss up the Dragonite, lost impact for the knockout. Take 2 prize cards. And then, that's basically the game. Because now he's going to go ahead on prize cards by 1. And now Hunter needs to respond with exactly a V Pokemon attack. And he's already wasted... He wasted one, Mirage Gate earlier. On that Cramorant pivot turn that didn't need to happen. Oh, I guess he was still too many cards off in the Lost Zone to attack with Sableye anyway. So if we Colress here, we have 3 Colress in deck. My lord, this man has not been able to find his Colresses at all this game. I mean, I know he put 2 back with the Pal Pad, but still. Having 3 Colress in that small of a deck late in the game is kind of absurd. But yeah, you have to win the game this turn. So you have to still have Super Rod left to you. So that you can put together Dragonite. You have to have Water Energy in hand. Super Rod, Dragonite, Water Lightning, and then Mirage Gate to it. And then, like, retreat and hit. And that's, like, asking so much. And his hand just does not have any of that. Yeah, so I think the key misplay here was for sure the weird pivot with the Cramorant and then not hitting into the Giratina V-Star with the Cramorant. And not attacking with the Radiant Greninja earlier when you definitely could have. I think like all of those compiled is what allowed this guy to take the win with Giratina. Plus me misplaying, of course, against him. If you guys saw that last round, that was abysmal. Forgetting to play Super Rod before my Mirage Gate. And his last switch card was in the prize cards. And Alex was like, you should have played Charizard. It was funny. Alex has bought like 4 cases of Obsidian Flames. He has so many Charizards, he doesn't know what to do with them. So, as always, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It's really important for that YouTube algorithm. And we will see you guys next time.